Alright, people. Season 8, Episode 1 and 2 is here. School Daze. And you know shit's about to hit the fan since this is a two-parter. So, do we have all corners of Equestria covered?
The Everfree Force seems to be a-okay.
Nothing wrong here in Yak-Yakistan.
The Canterlot seems to be in order.
And so is Tartarus.
Okay, good. And what about the Crystal Empire? Deadbeard. Crystal Empire, come in.
Come in, Crystal Empire. Deadbeard, pick up the walkie-talkie. Deadbeard, pick up the walkie-talkie.
The episode begins with the My Little Pony crew seeing that the round table has grown bigger as a result of their last adventure involving pirates, the slave trade, and sea ponies. Wait a minute, none of that actually happened in Shadow's play. What the hell?
What about that unicorn, the one who attacked Canterlot? Tempest.
Tempest? Wait a minute, she's from the movie. Are you telling me the movie's canon? The movie actually happened in this universe?
It's going the same way as G1 Transformers.
Well, just as the table grew, so does Twilight's ambition. So she creates a school of friendship. Celestia approved, but she has to get the approval of the school board to make it official. And by God, Naysay's voice sounds so familiar. I just can't quite place it. Oh, hold on, let me see his voice actor. Maurice LaMarche. Wait a minute.
The brain?
Quick! Artists, to your tablets! I demand fan art of him and Pinkie Pie taking over the world!
So, under the promise of strengthening Equestrian's borders, Twilight is given permission to build her school in quite possibly record time, and recruits all of her friends as teachers, whether they're qualified or not. And Twilight doesn't seem to be worried since she's going to do everything strictly by the book. And so, without any further ado, class is in session.
Come on, Commando, this is your job. I don't care if it's my job. I am not going back to school.
And much to many ponies' surprise, the school was not just for ponies, but for all walks of life from the neighboring kingdoms. So we get some cameos from dragons, changelings, the yaks, and even the hippogriffs. And we are also introduced to what I assume to be the new main six. And with that being said, it's time for class.
Hurry up, Twilight's class is about to start.
It would be easier if your butt wasn't so big.
So after breaking out into a less than inspired song, it appears that everybody except for Twilight appears to be miserable in this new school-like setting.
Hi.
I drew a bunny. Well, Twilight insists that everything is fine because they're all following the rules of the book. But then several of their students decide to go and play hooky. So while the new main six are off busy actually connecting and becoming friends, the old main six have to juggle having several of their students missing on top of Naysayer showing up and trying to judge the school to see if it's worth anything. Well, we're closing in on the end of the episode. Time for shit to hit the fan. Well, ruckus begins as the new main six return and accidentally break down parts of the school. But that doesn't seem to concern Naysayer so much as the fact that they're not actually ponies attending the school. Saying, and I quote,
"Then perhaps you should return to your kind."
Your kind?
Own kind?
Permission to shoot first.
Oh, I am breaking every law of physics up his ass.
It seems someone's in need of a gentleman's quarrel.
He's going next to Pony Hitler.
So the extra species leave and Twilight School is shut down by Naysayer. And thus we segue into the next episode where Twilight is sad. Sad is Twilight. Now I really hate to say this, but Naysayer was technically in the right for shutting down Twilight's school. Not because of his racist actions, but because Twilight neglected to follow the rules and standard practices that of the guidelines of the school district. After all, she did technically lose 5 of her transfer students all in one setting. Now, Twilight's friends try to cheer her up, but it doesn't seem to be working. But then Starlight Glimmer shows up and snaps Twilight to her senses by slapping the rulebook out of her hand and say,
Hey, this is your school, you're a princess, you run shit your way.
Now, Starlight, I know you were just trying to help Twilight, but you should also be made aware that you destroyed a perfectly good book right in front of Twilight. Yeah, you should probably run now. So the rest of the main six go to each individual country in order to try to get the foreign exchange students back, only to discover that the children are missing. And each country blames another country for the disappearance of their child. And they're about to declare war on each other. But they just happen to run away at the castle of the two sisters.
So in other words, it's all Silverquill's fault. If you're gonna declare war, declare it on him.
Well, the new six are enjoying themselves until they get attacked by a ferocious band of porcupines. But they're saved by the old main six telling them that the school is back on. And when the other country's diplomats agree to this, Naysayer comes around and says, "Oh, hell no." And Twilight tells him, "You will, or I'm sending your ass to the moon." And so the school is back on, this time with a more fun and friendly environment. And that was School Daze, and I really like this two-parter. It has a good setup for future episodes, a new whole cast of characters that I can't wait to see how they incorporate, and even if it does look like it's the new Main 6 2.0, I'm all for it. If I get to see the old Main 6 teach the new Main 6 their life lessons to help them overcome them. And even though I wasn't really a fan of the songs, I did like seeing fan favorite characters again, and it's very nice to see a lower stakes episode. So bottom line, I can't wait for Season 8. But there is one last thing I have to do.
Naysay, you have proven to be one of the worst characters in My Little Pony history. Not because of your classroom ethics, no, I completely agree. After all, those rules exist for a reason. But because of your blatant racism behind the backs and to the faces of all the fan favorite characters that fans have come to know and love. So, without further ado, I have only one word to say to you, sir. For! Off with his head.
Hope you like the scenery, 'cause you're not going anywhere.
Ah, that just felt so good. I'm the Cartoon Gentleman, and I brought you Organized Chaos.